Well, it's good to see you here in the studio, man.
Right.
I'm not kidding.
Here with the great Wessel, you know what I'm saying?
Come on.
It's my idol, man.
You got to stop that, because I was really embarrassed backstage. Vroeg hij om mijn handtekening. Something's wrong here. You shouldn't ask me for my autograph.
Hey, this the great Wessel. You know what I'm saying?
You've been watching this show, is that true?
Yeah, a lot. I watched it a lot.
Let me tell you, I'm going to ask you an obvious question here. How did you come up with the name Snap?
We needed a name quick, fast, in a hurry, you know, like in a snap. And that's it.
And you thought of that right away, right?
Right.
Okay, now, and you just said you were in Germany?
Yeah.
It's you're American. How does somebody from Pittsburgh, PA, end up in Germany? Which is not.
I was in the army there, you know. I was on the same post that Elvis was on, and what's my man from Guns N' Roses? He was stationed there too, you know. But we wasn't there at the same time, obviously. You know, and I got out, went back to the States, tried to do something with music, and it wasn't happening. A friend of mine, Rico Sparks, had you know, a deal here, and I came back to tour with him, and you know, some producers, you know, liked what I was doing, and we got together, you know, came up with this thing.
Yeah, but about the Army, I mean, most people here do their best not to get into it, you know. How do you decide to go into the Army?
Well, I think when you have to do something, that's when you don't want to do it, you know, so I think that's why it's like that in Europe. You know, in the States, recruiters promise you a lot of things. That
Women.
You know, yeah, I had a woman recruiter, and yeah. But that's another story in another book.
We want to talk about that. But,
you know,
was it like an escape from Pittsburgh?
In a sense, it was. You know, most of my friends were older than me, and when they graduated, I was still in school, and I watched what they were doing, which was nothing, and I didn't want to fall into this. So, you know, I went to the Army, and I was in bomb disposal, and you know.
So if we've got a bomb in the building, we can call you.
No, I'm not going to do nothing with the bomb. You got to get the bomb, Vessel. I'm not getting no bomb.
Well, okay, I'll carry the bomb and you'll dispose.
No, you carry it, and I'll tell everybody to get out your way.
Okay, well, we'll think about that. We'll argue about that later on. Now, do the people in the States know how it is going with you? I mean, the song is high in the charts right now there?
Yeah, I mean, you know, since I'm not there, people are asking my mom for autographs. You know, I talked to her on the phone yesterday, and she was like, people are asking me for autographs, you know, and, you know, I think it's pretty cool.
So your mom is proud, right?
Yeah.
So did you already buy her a big present?
Well,
I mean, you should do that.
I'm trying to buy her a house. You know, that's what I'm trying to do.
But you can't find paper big enough to fit it in, right?
Right.
Okay, now about Penny.
Right.
The singer. How did you meet up with her? Because she's got this really remarkable voice.
Okay,
Not a lot of people like that around.
Like I said, when I was on this tour, I was on a tour with Shaka Khan, Mays and Mother's Finest, and she was singing with Shaka Khan, and you know, she was, you know, really dynamite, you know, and had a voice like, you know, it almost overpowered Shaka, you know, and you know, that's where we met on this tour.
And how deep does your relationship go with her?
You know, I mean, it's a professional thing. You know, I'm like, you know, I'm a slut.
So you won't end up like the Sonny and Sheriff dance, right?
Right, correct.
Now you've had this smash hit with the Power. The song went really, really fast, and immediately.
It's a hit, man.
Yeah, yeah. Didn't you know that?
Shit,
Wake up!
man.
Have you been in the cave for for years?
Right.
Yeah, it's a hit, and now you've had this Chill Rob G. What's the story about that? You can clear everything up for us.
I mean, my man is like, what happened was, the producers, you know, did a demo with his voice, and when I came in and did my work, there were two tapes, and the guy who was supposed to take the tape to the pressing place, right? He's like not the big English major, and he put a tape in, and he heard some rapping, and you know, he just took it. So, you know, it was kind of an accident that version got released. So Chill Rob G actually didn't do anything, you know, as far as making the Power. So, you know, all this claims, you know, he really needs smacked in the face for, you know.
Yeah. So you already met him? You already shook hands with him?
Well, you know, I was in New York on a promotional thing, and I called his office, and I wanted to talk to him, and, you know,
Yeah,
They-
I'm gonna kick his ass, man.
No, I was really gentlemanly about it. I was like, I'd like to meet him, and they was like, "Are you gonna beat him up?" And I was like, "Beat him up for what? I just want to meet him." You know what I'm saying? And, so we never really got to meet. But it's a small business. We'll run into each other somewhere.
Right. And did Jocelyn Brown already call you?
Well, I mean, I don't even know who she is, man. The producers, they were the ones who did all the sampling. I just came in with the lyrics, And so when she does come, I'm gonna kind of go like,
Right. Now, when do you feel sampling is allowed? At what moment? I mean, do you like, for example, the sampling Black Box is doing?
well, that's kind of out of hand, I mean, if you do it, you got to do it in good taste. You can't do it and disrespect another artist. It has to be done in good taste. I mean, like, every song Public Enemy does, there's like at least 10 samples, but it's all in good taste.
Right.
So I don't think this thing Black Box or the 49ers is doing is in good taste at all. It's really bad.
Okay. Now, one more thing. I really like the lyrics in your new single, Oops Up. The lyrics of the rap, especially the part about Amy. Could you do that one?
This is all true. Like, the first one and the second one, this is, things that really happen. This is
Things that really happened to you?
Yeah.
Okay, could you do the rap part about Amy? We kind of like that here. It's been a favorite throughout the studio.
I'm shy, man.
Come on. Okay, now I'll help you. Took out a pack to obtain my protection, rolled it off in one hard stroke.
It was my last, and yes, it broke.
Yes, it broke.
And she did not give me none either. She went home.
Yeah, and you left your grocery bag at the grocery store, so hey. Like you know, but this is strange. With me, they always seem to fall off, but I don't know about that. Okay, man. We'll see you on stage in a moment. 2 songs, The Power and Oops Up.
Right. We're gonna kick this.
Looking forward to that.
Peace and humptiness forever.
Right. Peace and humptiness.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, God. And did you think you would be on Countdown?
Nah.
I mean, you've been watching the show. This is true. You're not kidding me, right?
Yeah. I used to sit home, with my furry slippers with the toenails on them, and I used to watch it and be like, damn, I wish I could be on the Countdown stage. Now I'm here to do this thing, and I'm gonna do this thing.
Okay. Yay. And we're glad you are here. Thanks a lot for being here.
Right.
We'll see you on stage. Take care. Your favorite video, that's what we want to know.
Jackson 5, I Want You Back.
Jackson 5, I Want You Back. That's an oldie.
I used to kick it. I mean, this is like where I started. My first stage was like the coffee table in my grandmother's living room with a D-cell battery as the mic, and they started it. So I'm gonna give this to them.
Okay. Well, if you be a VJ and announce it on, say, camera 2.
This is the Jackson 5, and I Want You Back. And Turbo B, cold cooling with the great Wessel.
Hi, this is Tina Turner, and you're watching Europe's #1 rock show, Countdown.